Today, I am your sister T. As promised, guys, I said this week I'll be bringing you a guest. Eh? And I said this week I'll be talking about the challenges that we face on our 20s. Thando, how are you, Fiasco?
Good day, okay?
I'm good, my friend. Long time, eh?
It has been a long time.
Yeah, but you know what? As I promised this guest of mine, let's just get straight into it. Ne?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be giving you interesting questions today.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for my questions?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm prepared.
You're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get straight into it. What would you say broke you in your 20s?
Broke me. What I will say is that maybe like a really pivotal time for me in my 20s, because I think this is when you're supposed to be getting yourself together. This is in your 20s is when you're studying. It's when you basically build your financial situation. I would say that a really important time for me, something that has impacted me a lot, was dropping out of my engineering degree after 3 years. It was mostly because I was burnt out and I wasn't very well informed on if this was the career, and I guess I wasn't prepared for the challenges. So I would say that was a really pivotal part in me, and I guess my responses, my reaction to how it was, or what I went through did affect me financially in some aspects.
How did that affect your financial aspects of things? As you mentioned finances, you mentioned that you were burnt out. How so?
I was burnt out because I think engineering is generally a tough degree. So it was very tiring, the hours, the practicals, this and that, and then also kind of now having to contend with something that you weren't necessarily prepared for in that way. I think that I was burnt out in that way. And then so in terms of my finances, how I was affected financially is the fact that in order to kind of escape from this reality that I was in at that point of being in a degree that I don't necessarily understand or wasn't even sure I wanted at that point, I went out a lot. So I spent a lot of money on drinking, and that impacted me a lot, and also a little bit my relationship with my family, because I get an allowance and then I use it, and then next thing now I'm calling 10 days before month end, I need money, I don't have money, type of thing. So that was probably how it affected me a lot financially, because I was just using money. I just wasn't budgeting properly at that point, and it was all about escaping the situation that I was in.
Wow, very interesting. Wow, Thando. You mentioned something about financial obligations, so let's dwell into that. Did you incur any financial obligations such as student loans at that time while you were in school?
Fortunately, no. My mom paid for my fees, and then my brothers helped out as well. So I didn't incur any debt pursuing that degree. And then I also did go on to study another degree after that at another institution via correspondence. So it wasn't as expensive as the other one. I do remember that I had to think about whether I should apply for a loan or not. And fortunately, because of the university that I ended up going to, I didn't need to think about that. My family still paid for me, and they helped me out.
Wow, you're so lucky.
I understand it.
Highly blessed, hey?
Highly.
Not everyone encounters what you encountered.
Especially the second chance to go and study after dropping out of one. Yeah.
I actually have a friend. This person told me that they actually incurred 90,000 worth of student debts.
Was this in a year?
Throughout the years, they encountered, they encountered 90,000 worth of debt, so they have to pay it back now.
And can you imagine as a 20-year-old, you've just started working?
As a 20-year-old, you have 90,000 rand to pay after school.
How do we even begin? Because now that in South Africa we're you do an internship first. How do you just start your life without money? In a negative balance.
Hence I said, you're very blessed. So it takes me to the next question actually. I don't know how it affects you. Are you taken? Are you in a relationship? Are you seeing anyone? I don't know.
Right now I am seeing somebody. It's good. We're happy.
So it takes me to this question, Thando. And this question being, do you believe that when you don't have money, you shouldn't date?
No, because I don't think that you shouldn't date because it's like there are levels to your money.
Is it?
Yeah. So just because right now I don't have a lot of money doesn't mean that I shouldn't be able to date. I can date. I think mostly the big thing is about standard of dating.
Oh.
So I'm in a relationship. I'm happy. But I can't necessarily afford a trip to Mozambique.
Okay, I understand. You also haven't been there yet, so hey. Yeah, I understand.
I think that you kind of have to date within your budget. But we're all human. We need companionship. You can't not be in a relationship. You can't not do things that will fulfill you because man.
So you're saying, are you saying that you have to afford your person in a way? No, because you're saying you have to date within your budget. You mentioned the budget.
Yeah, I guess you could say that you have to be able to afford your person. Like the thing is, who comes from a millionaire family, as myself, Now I'm like, baby, I know that you're always eating at Orem, you're always eating at Saint, and you're doing all of these amazing things. And then now I want to take you to KFC if
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it really makes sense.
Yeah, but honestly, dating, let's date and let's save up. Yeah. We can be financially savvy within our situation. Life doesn't stop because our number.
Yeesh! I don't know, because I said it. Okay, Thando, that's very interesting, eh? Let's move on to the next question, and it's very interesting. This one is very interesting. Do you believe in black tax? Do you think people should pay black tax? Have you paid black tax?
Personally, I haven't had to.
Wow, man.
I haven't had to, fortunately, but I do know that my brothers have experienced it. My mom also experiences it. I'm just privileged in that last one. What am I paying?
Syndrome.
So in that regard, I haven't had to, but I do believe that we should be able to help each other out as family, as community.
Yeah, because you were also helped.
Yeah, I've also
by your brothers, as you said, they paid for your fees.
Exactly. So they helped out when I was in varsity. So I do believe that when you care about people, you help them to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
So even I, for example, I don't pay black tax, but I definitely do help out in other meaningful ways. So even if I don't have money, I'll try to rally up for somebody if they need something in my family, and we'll figure it out. So I believe in community. Even now, if my neighbor needs some help, I will help them as best as I can. So it's mostly about a community type thing. Do I believe in black tax? I can't not believe in it. It's our reality.
Yeah.
The way that black people have been put, or the ways that we're living are such that we do have relatives and community members who do need that kind of help. So I have to believe in it. Wow. I do believe in also helping as best as you can.
Wow, this is very empowering, and the way you say things is mind-opening actually. So it takes me to the next question. Overall, I've asked you so many questions. What would your advice be to the next generation coming up? How would you advise them about their 20s, and how can they make the best of their 20s, I guess?
What I would say is, I think I'm going to touch back on the previous question of the previous black tax question, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that we need to remember in our 20s is that you can't necessarily, you won't do everything alone.
Yeah.
And it's very unfair of us to even ask other people to do things alone. We do need community, we need help, we need a support structure in order to do things. And it doesn't matter that it doesn't necessarily all have to be financial. You need somebody who's going to be there to give you a shoulder to cry on, to help you out. Yeah. So in your 20s, actually, this is the best time to cultivate community. This is the best time to build meaningful relationships. And then also, I think what we need to do as well, I've been lucky enough in that I was able to take breaks in between studying in order to kind of find myself. So if you are in the position to kind of start to take a break and figure out what it is that you want to do with yourself, do that. And it can be a purpose, it can be a career, because I know, for example, that my purpose is not the same as my career. I do have things that I believe in that I want to do, but I've differentiated that from what I have to do now in order to live and to afford the lifestyle that I want. I'm not necessarily passionate about the things that I'm doing, but I love it enough that I can do it every day. And then I also have things that I want to do, that I want to do and I achieve personally in my own life. So I think what we can do in our 20s right now is, one, build meaningful friendships, build relationships, have a community, people to support you, know what it is that you want to do in your life, or not even know, but do your best to figure out what it is that you want to see yourself growing into. And then also, your career isn't everything. It is everything in terms of you need money, obviously, but have a balance in our life is very important. Don't just be like work 9 to 5. Monday to Sunday. When are you gonna live? When are you gonna do all of these things? Because things don't get easier. So I think those are the things that I could share mostly.
Wow. Sure. Hi guys, Zini. Sure. Yeah. This is very different. This is very enlightening. Thando, thank you very much for coming.
It was my pleasure. I really enjoy having to speak to a friend of a long time. I know that we went to school together, and we built a friendship right after that. But you know what? This is good. This is what we talk about when we meet. When we talk about meaningful friendships and relationships. These are the kinds of conversations that we should be having. So I feel privileged to be on your page right now.
Oh, thank you, guys. This is your sister T, your girl T. Put some man. Or I like, a comment, a subscribe. Tina fitla bulala Thando. Hey, it was fire. Hey, this is your sister T. Signing out.